Hey, Miles.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, listen. Let me ask you a question. This is very, very important. When you
Oh
go
no,
sit on
not an important
a
question.
couch or a sofa or a love seat, right? Something not super firm that you can kind of sink into.
Yeah.
What's an adjective? First adjective that comes to mind for the way that couch or sofa or love seat feels. First adjective comes to mind.
Maybe squishy.
Okay, but how does it make you feel?
Oh, comfortable.
Okay, good. Because I just had to make sure before we started the show that you're not one of these people that pronounces all four syllables and comfortable.
Yeah, I got corrected on this a couple of weeks ago. They were like, "It's comfortable."
Yeah, no, fuck them. Those people are the worst.
Whoa.
Comfortable is legit. I mean, it's a sign.
Was it comfortable? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Because that was six syllables. But yeah, if you use all four of the regular ones, that's a sign that you are part of like Satan's army. Which maybe I should be embracing these people more. I have no idea.
We are starting the show today with some hard truths.
It's dark, man. It's a dark day. No, it's not. It's gonna be an awesome day, dude. You ready to start the show? Let's do this shit.
Always ready.
Go.
Let's do it.
Yes. This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Ys, sometimes 3 if I'm here. Friday, right here on YouTube. We do it live for your viewing pleasure. We do it audio style on podcast services of your choice for your oral pleasure. Miles,
Brian.
what's going on, dude? It's Friday. It's time to put up your feet, order a pizza, drink some beer, kick back, relax, enjoy your weekend. What is happening over in the land of the British, of the YouTube.com/Miles? What's going on over there, bud?
The land of the British. I like it. Unfortunately, I wasn't made king. And as for pizza, Brian, did you know that yesterday was International Pizza Day?
Yeah, I did, and
Did you have pizza?
I celebrated in style. Yeah.
You did have pizza?
I did. Of course, I had pizza.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. I had pizza as well, but it was completely unintentional. I was actually giving pizza.
Wait. You were just walking down the street and somebody shoved pizza down your throat. I was like, I didn't mean to have it.
I wish.
What is going on?
Well, what happened this week, Ryan, and we're going to talk about this a bit more in a minute, I got my racing rig set up for Gran Turismo. And so my friend Johnny came over to help me because 2 days before I was having a mental breakdown. 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just rocking on the floor, not in the comfy chair because the chair wasn't fixed properly.
Right.
And I said to him, could you come over and help out and I'll get us pizza? And we had pizza. It was good. It was all set up. We got to play some GT7. And then it was like, it was International Pizza Day. Yeah, that was completely intentional, but it wasn't. But yeah, so that's been it this week for the most part, is just getting the steering wheel set up, got GT7, did the whole trials and getting multiplayer unlocked, and just enjoying the PSVR2 fever that is just going right across the internet.
Sweeping the nation.
Sweeping, yeah. Sweeping the world, just absolutely remarkable.
It is pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think at any point anybody was talking about PSVR 1 nearly as much as everybody's talking about PSVR 2. I mean, I didn't exactly have my ear to the ground for the the highest moment during the Quest 2 era either. But I just don't remember people being this enthusiastic and being like, this is going to change everything and this is blah, blah, blah. People are screaming it from the rooftops. And we are here also, Miles, to scream that shit from the rooftops. It's going to change everything in just 12 more days.
I know, we are so close. And actually seeing some of the people that have been receiving these headsets, some of the big, YouTubers and that in the States and that, like Yongye and all these people that, have always talked about it, but VR is always like an afterthought. And I don't mean that as a swipe at them. It's just like, yeah, I do a bit of VR, but everything's flat screen gaming. It does feel like a watershed moment in the world of VR. And that might be me being optimistic, but I have a real sense that this headset, despite what has felt like quite quiet marketing from Sony, there's this surge happening now, and it's hard not to be excited.
You know what else we should be excited for, Miles? Mancunian Game Cat in the chat says, "Yo, Brian, yo, Miles, and the cats and kittens. It is my birthday tomorrow, and I'm currently celebrating it with the best people in the world." Dude, thank you so much for having us.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Have a great one.
Damn, I hope you guys are going to be here to celebrate my birthday with me. Hope I'm going to be here to celebrate my birthday with me. We got I Eat Cats Bit Fishy in the chat with the 5 quid says, "Dogged determination." I stuttered a little bit. He didn't say determination. That was me. Determination.
How many syllables?
Just
how many syllables are we putting into words today, Brian?
Determination. Yeah. That's 5. That's not 2. Determination, guys, in case anybody in the chat was unclear, determination does not have 2 syllables. It has 5. Thank you so much for the tip. I Eat Cats Bit Fishy. That's a weird fucking name, but I love it. Super cool video, bro. The $2 tip says, yes, but it was supposed to come to PSVR, so we'll see. He's talking about the thumbnail, Warthunder. We'll definitely be talking more about Warthunder soon. I will say, one of the most requested games I got over the last 6 years, saying, why isn't it coming to PSVR? What's happening? What's going on? Don't you have any inside information? And the answer is, I don't fucking have any inside information with those devs whatsoever. So what we tell you today is what... There's no inside information. It's what everybody has access to. Drew B with the $10 tip says, bad news. Oh, no. I had to X my pre-order. Good news. He Who Loves Us All will probably play every freaking thing that comes out. I shall game vicariously. Oh, well, that's nice. I'm glad that somebody's going to be appreciating, all the reviews I put out late. Dude, Miles, I've got 10 PSVR2 games on my hard drive right now. 10 PSVR2 games sitting on my PlayStation 5 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was asked a question on my live show. I think it was last Friday, actually, because obviously we weren't doing the show here. And thank you to all the Game Cats who came over and spent last Friday with me on that channel. It was an incredible turnout, and I was very, very blown away by it. But one of the questions I got asked, which I love, which was, what is your advice to people who are getting PSVR2 but have never experienced VR before? And the first thing is they're in for a real treat. This is a great starting point. But when it came to like what games to play and choose, money is tight for people, and so if you're someone that has the money, go out there and buy the games that you want beforehand. But if you are having to be a bit more careful, look at the games that you currently own that are getting free PSVR2 upgrades, or are perhaps going from flat screen to PSVR2, like Resident Evil, and you might find that you have 4 or 5 games already that you can enjoy on launch day. You can have more than enough time to get lost in those worlds, and then you only need to wait 1 or 2 days for Brian's wonderful reviews to pop up, and then you can get a sense of the games that you haven't bought, of what ones you want to go for next. So it's very easy to go mad with the 30 titles, but I would just say that if people are worried about which one do I have to get, just have a look at what games you currently have and which ones are getting the upgrades, because honestly, we say this again and again, I think this is the best gaming launch lineup for any piece of PlayStation hardware to date, because it caters all the categories. You've got Resident Evil Village, you've got Call of the Mountain, you've got GT7, and then you've got all these games that are getting free upgrades, some that are getting minor paid upgrades. But if you're fans of those games, you probably aren't going to mind paying that little bit. So it's all really, really exciting.
Yeah, man, I agree. Hussein in the chat was wondering which 10 they are, and because of all the different embargoes, all different dates, I should probably just keep my mouth shut and not tell you which 10 they are. But that doesn't count all of the PSVR 1 games that I probably have sitting on my hard drive as well, which already have been confirmed to be coming to PSVR 2. So right in line with what you're saying, Miles, I've got way more than 10 PSVR 2 games sitting on my hard drive because I completely forgot about the PSVR 1 upgrades that are on the way. So hell yeah, man. We've all got a bunch of PSVR 2 games sitting on our hard drives.
And it kind of makes the idea that, No Man's Sky and Switchback and these games that have been delayed or been moved to launch window, it doesn't hurt as much now, because it just means when they do come out, I'm going to have more time and, focus to give them the love and attention they deserve. Yeah. It's going to be a different experience, even if it's an amazing game where in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, and especially for you with reviewing, You know, you want to be enjoying this, going, oh, I want to stay in this. Oh yeah, but I've got all these other games to be getting to. Like I think this is going to be the toughest, like, or the biggest tidal wave of games you've ever had to deal with, and especially after 2 years of like having to deal with what you review a game every 3-4 months or something like that.
Yeah, it got pretty bad, and then like a game would come out and it would suck so bad that I would just be depressed and be like, "This is after all this time, this is what you want me to spend my time with? Fuck you, fungus in my garden!" Like that was just garbage.
Right.
It's like, so I'm really really excited to like finally be like, I can pick. You know, I can pick, like, developers are contacting me being like, hey, we know there's a lot of games at launch. Hopefully you'll review ours. And I was like, I will, but I don't know when. Like, we get to kind of pick and choose for so long. It's like actually going to be fun again. Myles, I've said it multiple times leading up to this month. Over the last year, I've said this is what my entire life, and it does sound like I'm being hyperbolic when I say this, but I'm not. This is what my entire life has been leading up to, the launch of PSVR2. And so it's really, as far as I'm concerned, going to be like the greatest day, week, month once it gets here. Dude, this my whole life, right? And then I can die peacefully, man. That's the last thing to cross off my bucket list.
In Resident Evil. There'll be lots of death. The last thing on this though, Brian, and like just a big shout out to you, man, because I was looking on the channel at how many reviews you have done of PlayStation VR games, and for me personally, and I know many game cats are gonna have this as well, I discovered this channel because of a PSVR without parole game review, and it was for Pixel Ripped. The PSVR without parole review playlist, and there might be, you know, a couple of reviews that Brian hasn't added there. But even if that is the case, there's 359 PSVR game reviews, and when people know those aren't just like quick on a whims, these are scripted, well thought out. You've taken the captured footage, you've done, you know, scoring. Obviously it came a bit later, but you always gave summaries at the end. Man, like, huge credit to you. Like, in 6 years, I'm not even going to do the maths now, but lots of clap emojis I suggest in the chat, because
thank you.
Yeah, dude, 359 reviews is just unbelievable.
When I say I gave it my whole life for this channel, I mean I gave it my whole life for this channel. You know, I said it during my what was it, the $550, when they announced the $550 price tag. I said, you know, I've given up everything. You know, like I haven't worried about relationships or like, you know, I've like sacrificing in terms of like money and everything else in order to do this full time. And so again, this is everything. This is everything. And so I'm really excited.
And you didn't even get a platinum trophy for doing 350 reviews.
That's the final trophy, Myles. The final trophy I get will be platinum. Yeah. There's only one you get in life, and that's the final one.
That's it.
Right. Once you've done everything else.
That's it.
Right. You got to ping all the other ones. Okay, dude, we have oh wow, look at all the clapping hands emojis. You guys are crazy.
Well, actually, sorry, one last question that just came to mind. So 359, how many games have come out on PSVR? It's 400 and something, right? It's between 400 and 500.
There's like over 600 games, I think, on PSVR.
It's going to be way more than that for this generation, isn't it?
I think it's going to be I think we're going to get that in the first year. Like, yeah. Right? I mean, it seems like every Quest game is going to come over. Every PC VR game is going to come over. PlayStation VR 1. I mean, think about the PlayStation VR 1 games alone that are going to be coming over within the first year. There's, you know, easily going to be, my guess would be easily 100 in the first year. You know, once developers like, shit, we got to get on this. Like, people are actually buying these things, buying these remasters. So I think it's going to be really fun, man. And it's going to be, we're going to have so much content to pick from. So, dude, we have so many tips to get through.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and lots of claps in the chat.
Like we are 17 minutes in and we haven't started the show yet.
But it's good energy.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is amazing. I love it. You could be anywhere right now. You could be literally anywhere right now, but you're here with us. VR Grid says no visual gags because he's listening to the audio. So no visual gags, Myles. Okay. Stop making that face. He's never going to know. He's never going to know. Varglesoft with the 10 quid says, is anyone else constantly doing the, is that the last time thing? You know, is that the last time I'll charge my moves? Is that the last time I'll play No Man's Sky on PSVR 1? And so on.
Right.
Have you had a few of those moments, Myles?
Yeah, I mean, I I keep thinking, am I going to play it one more time before I give it to my parents? Because my parents have taken over the headset. But when I went to go to PlayStation 5, I remember I made a concerted effort. This is my last game, and it was Robinson: The Journey, because obviously it wasn't going to be it wasn't playable on PlayStation 5. But I haven't had that moment with this. Kind of, I don't know. Are you going to play it much before PSVR2, Brian?
Probably not. No.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Every time I pick up my Move controllers, and every time I set it up to go play, like I tried to play Straylight, and I was like, oh god, like it was kind of on the blurry side, like it was uninspired, it wasn't fun, like it was just, I hate to call it something that somebody put a lot of work and passion into, but I mean for me it's like a 3 out of 10 kind of game, you know. So it's just like I haven't had a great final 6 months with this thing, and so I'm a little a little bit bummed out with my PSVR 1. So many people out there haven't had the chance to play Wanderer or Moss Book 2 or a bunch of great titles, right? And if I was in that position, I would still be just as hyped as some of you out there who'd be like, oh, PSVR 1 isn't dead yet. Well, for me, who, as Myles just said, has been playing everything as it comes out and trying to review and cover everything as it comes out, and then being like, okay, I beat that, I'm done with it, moving on. Like, it's over. Like, it is literally over for PSVR 1 for me. But thankfully, because in 2 weeks, a new chapter begins, Myles.
Yeah. And even though I kind of like the idea that once we get the new headset and we could play a game that's on both platforms, before I play it on PSVR 2, I'm just going to put my PSVR 1 headset on so I can do the, like, complete comparison. That's not going to happen. And you know why? Breakout box. I can't wait to never have to deal with those cables again. It is just unbelievable. Yeah. Like that, I think alone is going to be one of the most incredible ththings about this. That we don't have to do. Okay, you do it.
Well, no, I mean, good. You know, I would like to at least take, like, you know, the 5 games, you know, and just do some side by side comparisons and see.
No, for sure.
The problem is like the social screen actually trying to show people the differences. I think it's gonna be hard. Like I don't know if you saw the PSVR 2 Pistol Whip trailer. I was like, I bet this looks great in the headset, but in trailer form, like on a flat screen, I was like, this looks like the PSVR 1 version, you know. Like, so I think the social screen isn't going to make things very easy when it comes to comparisons. But you know what? Maybe I'll start making 4K videos, and so that'll make it a little bit easier, I think.
Yeah. Well, I still on that social screen, because there was the ultimate FAQ that they released, and they were talking about what's the output on the screen, and they say it's a 2D image. Because the question I've always had, and maybe I've missed the answer here somewhere, and you can enlighten me on this, but with foveated rendering, it was this fear that, so when you broadcast it, are people going to see this kind of like high fidelity bobble going around the screen where it's rendering where your eyes are looking? Or is it going to be able to give a consistent across the board, like, you know, 1080 rendering of the full thing? Like, I don't know how the foveated rendering is going to impact the broadcast or the social screen experience that you talk about.
I mean, I think, oops, that's not what I want to go to. That's what I want to go to. I think when we talk about that, I think the proof is in the pudding. When we've seen footage of Gran Turismo 7 running, you can tell where the driver's looking. Like, it's way more subtle than you'd expect it to be, right? Because of like how low the resolution really is on the exterior of the screen. But you can absolutely tell, over here, the top of the dash in the road is like super, super crisp. And then like over here at the edge of the screen where there's, you know, flagpoles or light posts or whatever the hell it is, or a fence, there's like anti-aliasing problems. Like, it's just maybe non-existent and the resolution gets lower. And so I think we've already kind of seen that foveated rendering and eye tracking will actually be shown on the social screen and on the output when it comes to streaming, but again, I think it's subtle enough for it not to be an issue. We'll see, though. We'll see. I kind of get a kick out of it if you were like, and now Brian's looking here, and now he's looking here, and here, and here, and here, and oh, boobs. You know, I mean, it'd be hilarious.
Why's Brian looking there?
Right? My eyes are up here, Myles. Oh my God, dude, we have so many more tips. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. I was just talking to Jimmy. We were saying if maybe we'll be able to eat Chinese food tonight. I think we're gonna be able to eat Chinese food tonight. You guys are awesome. Myles, the next tip comes to us from, scrolling all the way back up. Holy crap. Man Bear Pig Game Cat, he does exist, Miles. It's craziness. $2 tip. PSVR2 getting more publicity from YouTube than Sony. That's kind of changing, right? It's like slowly changing. Sony sent out all these PSVR2 review units because that is their form of publicity, right? They're doing their own thing, but they know that all these YouTubers are going to be like dying to make content. I know I am.
I know it's different to the PlayStation 5, but like they've given out much more hardware than they did with the PlayStation 5. And yes, okay, the PlayStation 5 was more of a mystical release because it was the next generation console. But on the flip side, PSVR2 is a more expensive piece of gear. So yeah, it shows how much they believe in it, which is amazing to see. And someone was just mentioning in the chat about if I had an email about my pre-order, and not everyone's got this, so I'll just read this out today. But I had this from PlayStation that was saying, thank you for pre-ordering. We want to send some information. They say, when your order is ready to be delivered, we will try to charge the total amount of your pre-order to the specified payment method. This is expected to occur from Friday, the 17th of February. So that's next Friday, my birthday. And I will be back on the show for that, because what else would I want to do for my birthday than hang out with all you guys? So it says, so please ensure that your funds are available in advance of the release and that your payment method will be valid up until the release date. Now, it could be different for different people, but that gives you a sense that these emails are coming out now. And it, I would say to everyone, be safe. Just make sure you have the funds in your account from Friday of next week.
Yeah, and if you haven't gotten that email, don't worry. I mean, I haven't gotten that email. I feel like it might be a lot of the UK cats or European cats. If you have gotten the email, let us know where you live, address and everything, zip code. We want to be able to come to your house and steal your headset. Let us know though, because I would like to know, because it seems like everybody who's saying it says it's it seems like they're either in the UK or in the EU somewhere. I'd just like to know, because it would be hilarious if mine just isn't getting shipped this month. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait. You're actually in the third shipment, Brian, and that's going to be Q1 2024, like my Poly Mega in Analog Pocket. So all right, well, I'm waiting for everything. I guess I'll wait for that too. I might have to take a break from the channel and go wait some tables.
All I will say is if next Friday Brian gets a message that his headset has been cancelled, we are going to do on this channel a fundraiser to get him a plane ticket to the UK so he can come here and get all his video stuff done here. We'll make it work.
Nice. We've got Belramio, the Game Cat, with the €6 says racing rig time, vroom vroom. Hey, the first topic on our show tonight was we were gonna talk a little bit about our racing rigs. You've got yours all set up. Explain to me, Miles, how that how did that go?
Well, I did put on Twitter the Spider-Man. I think it's from Into the Spider-Verse gif of him in the shower, just rocking backwards and forwards, crying. That was how I felt. For those that weren't in our Discord, and be sure to join our Discord if you don't already, because there is a voice chat for Patreon supporters. And I went on there to give you the wondrous live stream of me putting it together. And it was 15 minutes of me going, I don't know where to start. And then 3 hours later, I was like, I genuinely have got a headache from this. This is not going well. But it's all set up now. My friend Johnny helped me out, who's a very handy guy. He's just really good at, puzzles when it comes to putting stuff together, and common sense as well, which is always important for this. But look, having the full rig, I got the cockpit with the driving seat. And this came out of the fact that obviously Brian said he was going to get one. A lot of you game cats in the chat were talking about it. Then I saw Ryan McCaffrey's IGN sort of hands-on impressions about it. And then a couple of my live shows, everyone's talking about getting steering wheels and that. And I was like, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. And yeah, it feels great. I've played it on the flat screen. I've got my driving license. And dude, I just can't wait to get into the VR space with it. It's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. What about you?
I mean, it was. I will say it was comical. At least it was entertaining for me to. I think I was at my parents' house or something, and then 5 hours into you building your rig, I finally got home, and I stopped into Discord and I saw you holding the seat disconnected from the rig itself, and I was like, I know exactly where he's at. this is actually where I stopped the first time when I was building mine, because
we were doing it by ourselves at that point, weren't we? And you were saying you need a second person. I had to get a second person.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was super lucky to have a second person right from the get go. If I didn't have a second person, it would still be completely separate over there. So it worked out pretty well for me. But yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to set it up, and it takes way longer than you expect it to. I was like, it's probably take 3 or 4 hours. I think grand total, getting like once you get the steering wheel and the pedals and the shifter and everything all rigged up and wired in. I know I didn't pay close attention. Sorry, sirens on my end. I didn't pay close attention to the directions, which means I did everything 3 to 4 times, and then before getting it right. So it took us like 6 or 7 hours. Like, it was a long fucking time. Wow, a lot of sirens on my end. Myles, so what's your impressions? Obviously, we're not playing in VR. Some of the cats in the chat are saying, you guys should check out Dirt Rally or Drive Club or whatever with the wheel, like with PSVR1. Totally different game. It's a lot of sirens. But I'm assuming you haven't played using your PSVR1 and the rig yet, right? You're just playing Gran Turismo on the flat screen right now?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And how does that feel? Like, are you feeling like you're already getting that immersion, or you're like, okay, I just can't wait for VR. This is like step one, but VR is the real thing.
Oh no, I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I thought I was. I was really scared to play flat screen, of this sense of like, I've just spent all this money and it's like, it's all right. I shouldn't have done it really. Because I noticed that when you play it, you do the view where you've just got the bonnet in front of you, which kind of makes sense. Because it'd be weird to have your steering wheel.
You mean the front, just the front of the car, like the
yeah. We call it the bonnet. You bring the bonnet up when you check out. What do you call that you bring up on the front of the car?
The hood? Lift the hood?
The hood. Oh, the hood, yeah. The hood. Yeah, we call it the bonnet. But we obviously we don't pronounce the T because we're British. But so you have the hood, just the hood view. Whereas I've actually prefer the inside. But then there's like your steering wheel and then that steering wheel. And as I was doing it, thinking about my concern, which, by the way, I say it was my concern. Everyone's told me it's not going to be an issue. But it was the idea that when you're in VR with your steering wheel, it's not tracking your arms. So it's the idea of like, well, it's not actually your arms. It's not following your arms. Having seen it on the flat screen, dude, it's mirroring what you know what I mean? Like, if you're turning the wheel, it knows what your arms are doing. And so it wasn't much of a concern. But having seen it, it's just like, this is going to be so good in VR. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm actually shocked how anybody who was hanging out with me in voice chat while I was streaming, I think yesterday. I mean, I was streaming for hours yesterday, and I got to, I forgot which book it was. I don't know, 14 or something. I'm just making up numbers now. It was the Mustang book. And I'm not going and customizing my cars or anything. I'm using what they give me to race. I'm just like, okay, here we go. Let's do this thing. And man, I was like all over the road, and like it took me forever to probably like 10 tries, if not 30, depending on what you count, because I was resetting within 20 seconds of starting the round. It took me so many tries, and I think if it wasn't for the prospect of PSVR2 and it wasn't for the racing rig itself, I probably would have been like, you know what, this is not the game for me, because there were definitely some frustrating moments. I'm like, I just want an arcade racer, but because of VR2 coming, because of the racing rig, I'm like, I am still super stoked and not at all turned off by the difficulty. And of course, if you do get stuck, look up some guides online. There's always people there with good information. You can stop by our Discord and ask people like Belramio, who's in the voice chat, giving me very good advice. And once I followed his advice, things got a lot easier. So if you're getting frustrated, just stop for a minute and be like, there's got to be some answers here. And there usually are. Myles, we got Darth Vader the Gamecast with a $10 tip. Says, seeing all the unboxing videos has my hype so unbelievably high. Ian's unboxing, though, was absolutely hilarious. This is perfect, because this is our next topic on the Run of Show. Thank you very much, Vader, for getting us there. Dude, the unboxing videos today, I mean, my hype level is at a 14 out of 15.
I was going to say, out of what? Out of
yeah, 100. For an imaginary scale, I got very specific right there. I mean, dude, did you see? Okay, first and foremost, obviously, like Ian Higton over at Eurogamer had an amazing. He's so charismatic. He's so funny. Despite the fact that he's British, he still manages to be humorous. Nothing.
Sorry, I'm just literally right now catching up with all the super chats because there's a few that we've missed. So I've just been copying them and putting them in our Discord.
We missed some, dude. I've got like 20 here. How do we miss them?
I don't know.
Right,
some of the ones that I've posted in Discord you might have done already, so I've just put them all because Professor Lilith says she's. Did we read hers out?
No, she's on the list.
Oh, she is on the list.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've got it on. Okay, sorry. Ignore me then. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I was panicking because a lot of people were saying,
No.
missed it. And I was like...
It's okay. Listen. I kid you not. I have like 15 more tips to read. So be patient. And if we don't get to yours, then please let us know.
That's cool.
Yep. No
worries. I'll stop copying. Anyway,
Ian
Higton...
so sorry. Yeah, I was pretending to not like British people or think that British people weren't funny. Not the case. Now that you've ruined my joke by not paying attention to it. But Ian Higton's was awesome.
Yeah, and he's British.
And he's British. my only real experience with British people, Miles, is you. So I mean, I'm
so sorry.
He had a lot to live up to.
You have to have such a horrific experience with British people. You're like, sorry, British people trigger me. I work with this guy called Myles, and honestly, Fridays I dread him. I wake up on a Friday, I'm like, oh my god, here we go again.
All right,
here comes the British guy.
Listen. So we had an awesome unboxing from Ian Higton, and I was like, oh, unboxings are going live, and then I see over on the PlayStation blog that they have their own unboxing, which I since I don't have mine, I proceeded to re-upload onto Without Parole, as I do for more sirens, as I do for lots of trailers. Right, and I got a couple comments were like, "Why are you re-uploading this?" And I was like, "Because I got nothing to upload today, guys." Like, I'm like, maybe you missed this, and I don't want you to miss this because it's an important, monumental event. And so, this is the driest, most boring unboxing I have ever seen in my life. I can't believe she's not British. This is so bad, Miles. Did you watch this? It's like 10 minutes long, and she's like, in the box, it is blue. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
That was literally what I was about to pick up. She goes, it has 4 sides. But do you know, I love the PlayStation Japanese kind of like, it was like, you remember when they did the PS5 where they pulled it apart and he had his, I'm going to say he had gloves on, I don't know, but it was done so delicately and it wasn't like, here's the PS5. It was like treating it with respect and just very calmly. I found it very soothing, and I think
like
it's
ASMR kind of thing.
Yeah. God, that would be cool. She was tapping on the box, like. But it was when she turned it round and talked about. Oh yeah, she says. She said something along the lines of, they have patterns on all 4 sides, so that when you turn it around, it symbolizes the 360 experience of VR. I was like, what are you on about? A box isn't going to be like 180 degrees or else the VR headset's going to fall out. But but the bit I loved compared to her and Ian Higton is, for those that haven't seen Ian's, go check it out. It is amazing.
Yeah.
But what he does is he struggles like a lot of people did, which is where she says very calmly, the box has 2 boxes, the white one and then this one inside, and then it cuts to 2 boxes, and she's like, here, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice, but you don't see how she gets from one to the other. Ian, why is this not coming out? He goes, oh, I think I'll use gravity, and it goes dunk on the desk, and he just looks up and goes, yeah, don't use gravity, sir. I was like, that was so British. It was so good. And I wanted to do a cutback because I was like, well, she did it so calmly, and I looked like, no, she's a fraud. She didn't even take it out. She just like, and it jump cuts to, and here are 2 perfectly removed boxes with, we all know what it's like when you get boxes. You want to use the peel back bits on the corners that you're gonna. No, you don't. You get a knife because it's not working, right. And then you fuck up the box and the lip bits. And you want to keep it pristine, and it's not going to happen.
So what you're implying here is that maybe there's an uncut version of the official PlayStation unboxing video where she also goes, why isn't this thing coming out? And then it falls down and she dents the corner of the box, and they say, we need a new PlayStation VR2 over here. Send that one to the Without Parole guys. That one's broken. Send it out. I think, this might be a video of separate unboxings, because if she dented it on the way out, they're just gonna be like, get another box in here.
Almost spat. Always spat on my teeth thinking about that.
Yeah, this is. I mean, there's no way this went super smoothly, right? I bet the uncut version, knowing full well how long it takes me to do a 2-minute breaking news report video with all the different cuts that I do on my audio, I guarantee you this is an hour of footage chopped down to 10 minutes.
Well, who is it from IGN who does the Xbox coverage? Destin, is it Lagaria?
Lagaria.
Lagaria, thank you. He did the PlayStation 5 unboxing video, and he had gloves on, and I love the guy. Like, he's just like himself. I could be remembering, but someone correct me. But I think he took forever, because it's that whole thing of, I'm trying to take out the box, but it's a brand new PlayStation 5. It needs to be like a nice taking out of the box, but I've actually got to put a lot of purchase on it and really start tugging. And it's that sort of balancing act of how do I take it out smoothly when we all know these have been packed, so you do have to yank them. And that's just, I love that. When Ian did it, I was like, I'm sure Sony weren't happy when they saw that. Going, oh, here's the first unboxing from one of our creators. Donk on the desk. It's like, oh my goodness me.
Send him another one.
But no, I just love that. And that's just, and you know what? A lot of people watch that and go, okay, I'll now be careful. So in many ways, it's actually a good public announcement.
When I bought my Wii U, when I pulled it out of the box, like, because it's something you slide out of the box, the Wii U itself was on the underside of that. Like, I didn't realize I was opening it like upside down. And the Wii U console itself, boom, like it fell and hit the ground. And I was like, I didn't even get to play this thing yet, and I've already broken it. So yeah, be very careful when you open these things. You don't want to spend $500 or $600 twice. Yeah. Luckily, my Wii U was not damaged. Shockingly, yeah. You can all breathe a sigh of relief from 10 years ago. My console is just fine. Very cool though. This is, I would say, Myles, we've been patiently awaiting Sony's marketing to begin. We got a pretty cool teaser trailer. I guess you would say a features trailer on Wednesday that Wes and I dissected. And then we've got this unboxing today. I mean, what do you think's next? Are we going to do like a Mark Cerny talk? Are we going to do what's up?
Yeah, I mean, let's think. So we've had the photos of people with it. We've now had the unboxing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to know if maybe they...
For the, oh my God, it came in the mail. Oh my God, I opened it up. Oh my God, I played a game. Yeah.
And I'm still convinced there's going to be different waves of influencers getting it, so that, you know, they kind of want to, you know, they got to activate different parts of the community. And look, you know, the elephant in the room here, and Gamecast have been very vocal about it, and we really appreciate the support and stuff for that, is, you know, there is this sense, there is a lot of anger online about certain people haven't got headsets and other people have, and it's totally understandable. But at the end of the day, Sony have had to make decisions on who they choose for. And I know some people think, why did this influencer get it? Because they have a huge audience, but they're not real VR fans. But the truth is, they will have to think about the different types of influencers. They're going to go for some that are like game reviewers. They'll go for some that are PSVR super fans. And they'll actually go to some people that perhaps have a big audience, but those are the people that would never consider PSVR before. Right. And so I do think we are going to see some interesting... I think at the beginning, yes, when it comes to the box and the unboxing, that is something you need to do orchestrated at the same time. I think we could see a lot of different things happening over the next couple of weeks with different creators. But going back to your question, Brian, about specifically, I'm assuming that, well, I have no reason to believe this, but like Call of the Mountain is the game they keep banging on about. Although the box they got wasn't the Call of the Mountain one, but I'm wondering, surely they're going to make them all together explain their experiences of the same game. Do you know what I mean? I kind of feel like, yeah, they're all going to... I just feel like we're going to wake up maybe tomorrow or the day after, and it's like Call of the Mountain, first impressions, but as opposed to review what games you want, because it just feels orchestrated and very carefully done, because they want to just make these pulses, you know, of this game and then this game. So I feel like Call of the Mountain's probably next.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited, man. I mean, Call of the Mountain is definitely the launch title to be excited about. So if that is exactly what we're going to see next, dude, I mean, right out of the gate, like the one thing I want to know is I want somebody to just play the crap out of it all night long into the next day and do everything, right? Not beeline it to the end. I want them to do everything and then be like, it took me 15 hours or 16 hours or 20 hours or whatever. And just so before I even pick that thing up, I can be like, this is a game ass game. This is no experience. Like that is the one thing I want to hear before I even play it, because everything else will be spoiler. I don't want anything else spoiled for me. But that I will absolutely take that, dude. I can't get enough of this woman in this video. She's fantastic. Like they picked the right woman. I think it's intentionally dry, but I love her, man. There's something very special about her. All right, man. We got Frosted Behemoth Cat with the $10 tip. Says pizza money. Also, pro tip: the inside box has a flap that opens, so no need to dump the box over upside down. Thanks, Ian, for discovering this the hard way. Good to know, Dan. Thank you very much. I'm going to tear this thing apart just because I want it to be different than everyone else's unboxing videos that you've already seen. I'm going to take the outer box and rip it as if I'm the angriest fucking version of the Incredible Hulk you've ever seen. And I'm going to tear it open until I finally, pieces of cardboard flying all over the place, until I finally go, Sense controller. And I raise it up
right,
and there's a beam of light and angels go, ah. It's going to be fucking epic. Or I'll just open it the way everyone else opens. I'm not really sure. Wally,
I've still got my PlayStation 5 box, but I was using it because it had the handle in it, and eventually that wears off, and it's not secure for carrying. Like, I want a PlayStation VR2 headset like case, but I'm waiting until it's out so you can. I don't know why Sony haven't allowed you to buy the Sense controllers separately.
Right?
You know,
I would have bought 6 of them by now.
Yeah.
Just decorate my
and
walls.
then just pretend. Close your eyes and then pretend you're playing them, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd sleep with a couple just to to make sure that we have a nice solid relationship before things really kick off.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. But and then also like an official case, because obviously the steering wheels, the Logitech steering wheels, the G29 and then the G293, or was it the G27? I don't know. There's 2 that are PlayStation registered, like licensed, so they're going to be making money there.
Yep.
I just feel like a case. There's a lot of like extras. I feel, which again, it might be coming down the line, but I was kind of surprised.
This video is so good. We're going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's keeping the tip train rolling because we're actually getting through the topics of our show simultaneously, which is beautiful. Waleed is now a game cat, specifically a white tiger with a Canadian $2 tip. Says my first PSVR2 game will be Song in the Smoke Rekindled and Resident Evil Village. Great.
They did a great post earlier today. Have you got it? I don't know. Oh, the Song in the Smoke embargo line. Did you see that?
Oh no, what did they say?
Oh my god! I'm just going to send you it on Discord. This was not to play on screen, just so you can see it and react to it, and then everyone else can imagine. Or you could retweet it for the Game Cats to see. They did an embargo line. I'm not even going to tell you what it is because it's so good. I don't want to spoil it. Like they need whoever's done their social media, they need to give them a pizza. There you go. It's like a 10-second video. Do not defy the embargo lion.
Oh my god. Okay, you guys probably will be able to hear this, I'm assuming. Here we go. He's going through the grass. He's picking up a PSVR2 box. And the lion kills him as he's trying to open it. He's a happy unboxing there. That's very cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now that we've wasted more time. Alex with the $2 tip says, Happy February or Brewery. Doesn't really roll off the tongue the way I was hoping.
How too many syllables?
I mean, yeah. I was gonna try to figure that out and come up with something better, but you know what? I'll leave that up to you guys. Professor Lilith, here we are with the $5 tip. This is how backed up we are on tips, you guys. With the $5 tip says the Sunday multiplayer, which happens at 2 p.m. Eastern every Sunday, will be 2 games with no announced upgrades. Bullet Roulette, followed by Star Trek Bridge Crew, Platinum or Bust. If you guys don't know somehow what happens every single Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. The Gamecast get together on Discord, and they play a multiplayer game on PSVR1 that hasn't gotten enough love. Probably something you already own, sitting in your backlog. Maybe it's something you played the single player of and never played the multiplayer of. Who knows? Don't let those games go to waste. You might be retiring your PSVR1, but don't let games go unplayed. So make sure you join us over on Discord for that. Click the link in the description. People are constantly asking me, Miles, how do I join Discord? And I say it like 3 times an episode. Click the link in the description below, and then just follow the instructions. It's super duper easy. And if you've never used Discord before, don't worry, neither had I. But I learned, and it's a lot of fun. I hang out there all day. Thank you, Professor Lilith, for doing God's work. Katie Foley, the game cat. Also, nice name change with the £5. Did anyone get an email from PlayStation about payment for pre-orders? Mine says taking payment on the 17th. Also, what the bat is room scale only. Stay tuned for what the bat impressions. The embargo kind of bounced around a little bit. But if you're getting that from, and please correct me if this isn't where you got it from, if you're getting that information from the PlayStation Store, remember, it's the PlayStation Store, and generally you can't trust anything that thing says. But also, we talked about that earlier, Katie, probably around the time that you tipped, and it does seem like a lot of people are from the UK, and Katie Foley tipped in British pounds. So another Brit getting their email. I have not gotten my email. I'm from the US.
Can I just say quickly, Brian, so I mentioned it in the chat, we have 700 people watching right now. Hey. So hello to anyone that's new. Good to see you. But only 221 likes. Surely we're not hated by that many people, Brian. 500 is a lot of people to dislike us. So it just make us feel a bit better if you could just press the like button.
I mean, if you really want to make us feel better, go subscribe to this channel and subscribe to Miles's channel as well, youtube.com/Miles. And then, that way when PSVR2 gets here, you'll have all the coverage you need, sort of, eventually. You got to laugh, Miles, or you just end up crying. Josh Cat with the $10 tip says, I'm not going to play on a PSVR1 again, not for a while anyway, but I am having a really hard time packing it away. I still have the box. I don't know. I'm a little scared to unplug mine because of all the cables, and it was just such a mess to hook up the first time. And plus, the way my entire apartment is rigged so that I can capture footage of anything that I'm doing on my screen. And so if I disconnect it, first of all, I'm going to remove something really important. And second of all, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to hook it up again. But I think it would have looked nice, like right up here next to Robin, right? Robin can keep watch over it at night. And kind of like put it up here as a memorial to our beloved headset. I should probably talk faster because we're never going to get to the end of the show. Thank you, Josh Cat. Genetic Blasphemy with the $5 tip says, Brian Paul, I hope you allow yourself to simply enjoy this launch and don't overwork it. We'd be happy to just let you play for a bit. No pressures. And he has some clapping hand emojis.
There's no way in hell he's going to be overworked. There's no way you can take on 30 games without being overworked.
It's fine. It's fine. I really appreciate the concern that people have, but honestly, this is gonna be the most fun I've ever had. I think doing this channel, right? We've never done this other than the PSVR1 launch and the PlayStation 5. Technically, I only bought that for the PSVR2. The thing we talk about here on the show, on the channel, we've never had a new hardware launch. This is a monumental occasion for us. So this is going to be really exciting, and I want to enjoy it as much as possible. But I'm also going to work my ass off, man, because making videos is one of my passions. So I'll get to do both, and I'm very excited about that. AZN Panda 510X. Oh, is it Asian Panda 510X? Okay, with the $5 tip says, I'm super hype about eye tracking because developers are saying it's like another button itself. There's no subscribe paid to support on YouTube. Okay, wait, hold on a second. Well, this is 2 parts. I'm super hyped about eye tracking because developers are saying it's another button itself. We should all be hyped about eye tracking because of how it's going to allow us to play PlayStation 5 console quality games in VR. We just jumped ahead like 2.5 generations in one generation. And as far as your second half goes, it says there's no subscribe paid to support on YouTube. So one of the things that Myles is really good at is like knowing things and doing stuff. I'm not good
Sometimes.
at either. And he's been on me about like getting the membership stuff up and running on Without Parole. And we're absolutely going to make that a thing. So stay tuned. Within the next, I would say, week, we should have that up and running with some like custom emojis and all that stuff. Just stay tuned. We'll keep you updated. We definitely want to make sure that, if you want to support us, that you have the ways that you want to. In the meantime, you can always super chat like you did, Asian Panda, or go to patreon.com/withoutparolegames. We really appreciate you keeping
But
the lights on.
we want game cat emojis in the chat. That's what we want. I'll be becoming a YouTube member. I'm sure lots of people here will be becoming YouTube members as well. And so it's a good way to support the channel as we enter the new era.
Woo! Myles, I have to change this. As much as I said I really enjoy this woman unboxing,
oh yeah,
it's not going well for me right now. So I need to. I don't know. What should we watch? We should watch. I don't know. Here, what's
anything?
Oh wait, what is it? What's the new trailer? Innovative gameplay features. Here it is. Well, let's watch. Let's watch this. Dude, we have so many more tips. But I do think we kind of need to.
Let's pause them and come back to them. We'll do the tips at the end.
Yeah, be patient, guys. Yeah. We're gonna save them all, and we will get to them all. But yeah, we do need to make sure that we're handling the show as well. But thank you for your generosity. I don't want anyone to think that we're not extremely thankful for everything.
Absolutely incredible.
I'm gonna eat Chinese food tonight, Myles.
Nice.
See what you've done. What is our next news story, Myles? What's going on? What's our next thing we're going to talk about here?
I believe we're talking about, just there's a bit of a rumor going on.
Oh, yeah?
About a Sony Showcase, PlayStation Showcase. We keep talking about it. It keeps coming around.
Okay.
PlayStation teases, firstly, a Super Bowl ad with the God of Warhammer. We've had that.
God of Warhammer.
And there's just...
Yeah.
Because that's been appearing all around the world. There was one in London. Mm-hmm. They've been really, pushing out the fact that PS5 is in stock. And there's just a lot of speculation about this showcase because normally it's around November time. We completely missed a showcase. And then there was questions of, is it going to happen just around the time of PSVR2? I feel it is going to be in February or March. I've always felt that after we missed the window last year. There's no guarantees. But what are your feelings about it, Brian?
Well, I think you're on something here. So over here on GameSpot, yes, I always have to think about that. There's an article that is entitled PlayStation Teases Super Bowl Ad with God of War Hammer. Now, you brought this up, Myles, but it's very confusing to me. Because
can I just say that yes. I'm being corrected that it's an axe and not a hammer. The reason I said hammer was the article says hammer, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, PlayStation teases Super Bowl ad with God of War Hammer.
Sorry, this is why you shouldn't trust the fake news media.
Yeah, I guess that's okay. Yeah, I would have looked at that and said hammer too because I haven't played Ragnarok. Oh, hey, Tornado, what's happening?
But it might have been Thor's hammer because Thor's hammer has been appearing at places as well.
So this is from Eddie Makuch. There's no way I'm pronouncing that right. And it went up today, February 10th. The official PlayStation Canada Instagram account is teasing a forthcoming PlayStation-related announcement or reveal of some kind for the Super Bowl this weekend. The account posted an image of Thor's hammer, I don't know, and a fake Arizona news broadcaster ticker that says Fimble winner at the big game. In Norse mythology, Fimble winner is a 3-year period. Sorry, cat break. I can't see the screen because Tornado's sitting in front of it. 3-year period of extreme environmental change, and in this case, that would be the snow falling in Glendale, Arizona, the site of the Super Bowl 57 on Sunday. Listen, we don't need to read any more of this, mostly because I can't see the screen. But less importantly, what the hell is Sony? Let's start here and then go to the showcase rumors. Because this is imminent, right? This is days away, minutes.
Yeah.
Even some people would say. Sunday,
it's happening.
What the hell are they doing? God of War Ragnarok's been out, right? Your big Super Bowl ad is going to be for a game that's been out for like, what, a month? That can't be right.
God of War VR. It's not going to be. It's not. I'm sorry to make you spit.
That's what I wanted you to
thinking
say. I just didn't know if you were going to.
Yeah. And the other thing you could say is because The Last of Us is being pushed back or forward, should I say? It's on tonight in America and tomorrow in the UK for Saturday. You know, could this be the release of The Last of Us Part 3? Or it wouldn't be that. I don't know. Because like everyone's talking about The Last of Us, it's got so much hype. Like everyone knows about it. Everyone's talking about it. That is the time you could maybe talk about factions or something like that. But I think that's less likely. But yeah, I don't know. It could literally just be about PlayStation 5s are in stock because they're just trying to hit home that if you want a PlayStation 5, you can get one right now. And as I've said from the start about this campaign, the bottleneck for PlayStation VR2 is the PlayStation 5. And one of the reasons I think their marketing for VR has been relatively quiet is because based on the number of people that own PS5s, they have probably calculated, well, the amount of hardcore PSVR fans are going to take up that supply before we push to the masses to make sure that marketing spend and push is as effective as possible. We need to ensure that as many people have PlayStation 5 consoles as possible. So it could very well just be a big, bold announcement. PlayStation 5 is available right now. And I hate to give a very safe, boring answer, but that is the most likely outcome.
Yeah, that is a really safe, boring answer. I mean,
that's what I'm here for.
We are as close as possible as you can get to PSVR2, right? It is literally 12 days away. By the time the Super Bowl rolls around, it'll be 9 days away. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 days away. With this unboxing video, with units going out, it's time to strike, man. Like if there's no PSVR2 announcement, I know Super Bowl is one of the most expensive places you can advertise, right? It's crazy expensive, and you got to wonder, did Sony decide against lots of advertisements leading up to launch and instead say, let's just hit the big one, right? Because for the same amount of money, we're gonna do a really, really focused ad campaign instead of like this really long, drawn out one. What it has to do with God of War, I have no idea. But I will be not surprised, because we're never surprised when Sony doesn't do things the way we would do them. But surprised still to some degree or another. I don't know.
That we've got that range of predictions, though. We've got the very safe at one end and then the bolder ones. And I think, look, one of the three, it's either PlayStation 5s are available, God of War VR, or Last of Us, possibly factions. Well, it's, with the TV. Because it could be one of those things where they've got a Last of Us HBO ad, and then off the back of it, they then do a... Because they buy 30-second ads, don't they?
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting. And I remember years ago, like, I don't follow the Super Bowl, and I don't really care for, like, the ads. I sometimes watch them on YouTube and like them. But I remember years ago being up late at night because I'm a massive fan of the Cloverfield universe. And I used to be on the Cloverfield Reddit forums, and we were speculating that there was this new Cloverfield movie, the Cloverfield Paradox. And we were like... we think it's going to be at the Super Bowl, and also thought, what if they announce it and they say it's available to watch right now? And that seemed like completely ridiculous. Like, why would they do an expensive ad and then just give it for free? Well, on Netflix. And that's exactly what they did. I woke up the next day and it was like people had already watched it, because it was a disappointing movie. But the idea that this new movie for Cloverfield had been announced with all that budget for the Super Bowl, and then they gave it out, these kind of things do happen. So we might be getting a shadow drop. That's also possible.
Maybe. Tornado's completely taken over my desk, by the way. Like, my keyboard is all the way over to the side. I had to move my coffee. I'm just holding on to my coffee. She's taken over completely. So Miles, the other article I brought up kind of piggybacks on the last one. This is a GameSpot article as well. So thank you, GameSpot, for all of your assistance today. This one says PlayStation State of Play reportedly coming within a month. Bigger showcase before E3. Now, this is by Steve Watts again today. PlayStation may have its own State of Play event coming soon, followed by a bigger PlayStation Showcase event sometime before June, according to Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb. On his daily news show, Game Mess Mornings, Grubb said that while plans could shift, he expects to see a State of Play within the next month. A State of Play should be happening in the next few weeks to month, Grubb said. In that range, next few weeks to a month, we should see a State of Play. At least that's the current plan right now. These things have shifted before. And then he goes on to say, it's not just a State of Play in the works. It's also a showcase that should be held probably sometime before E3, blah, 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 blah. I'm more concerned about the stuff that's happening right away, Miles, because the stuff that's happening right away is stuff that is definitely going to concern us, right? It's stuff that we are going to be most interested in. I've been telling people, be patient, right? Sony's going to promote PlayStation 5 until the absolute last minute. Remember Monday when I was like, the absolute last minute, and then they will focus on PlayStation VR2 just as late as they possibly can, but right before they strike. I'm just going to throw this out there. February 20th, 10 days away. I could be
on
wrong.
A Monday.
I could be wrong.
On a Monday,
Yep.
yeah.
Could be wrong. But and again, these things, Jeff Grubb is absolutely correct. These things have shifted, right? There was supposed to be one in December. There was supposed to be one in January. There was supposed to be another one in January. Like it's been moving nonstop.
I know State of Plays have changed the day, but the convention for State of Plays, but also all showcases, they were Tuesdays, weren't they? So what if it was done on PSVR2 Eve on the 21st?
Yeah.
Tuesday the 21st.
Well, dude,
I mean,
that you'd be getting this news out when hype is like at a fever pitch level, right?
that's true.
It's like everybody is making content about it. All these influencers and YouTubers and places like Kind of Funny and IGN, whatever, they all have their review units, and everybody's talking about at the same time. Why not strike while the iron's hot? Like, this is a very interesting marketing strategy. And maybe, again, we're giving Sony too much credit here. Like, who knows, like, if they're going to do this or not. But it does seem right. If we haven't seen anything yet, this seems right. And again, I would say the 20th. Funky Sloth in the chat says, what's the point? The thing is nearly out. But it hasn't had any promotion, Funky Sloth. You got to promote it. Like, everybody in the VR realm knows about it, right? Everybody in our circles knows about it. But people outside of us don't know about it. People, regular gamers actually don't know about this thing. People who are curious about VR but aren't gamers don't know about this thing. And so this is the most important time to be advertising, right before it comes out or right when it comes out. This is it.
It's exactly right, Brian. And it all comes back to what we mentioned about sequencing of, you widen the bottleneck with PS5s, you rely on the hardcore fan base, to, the early adopters to, pay the premium price. And I'm not suggesting that the price is going to drop on PSVR2 Eve. But then at this point, if you are one of the early adopters, if you are a PSVR fan, if you are someone hyped for this headset, you were going to pre-order it already. Like, pre-orders were open to everyone. They did it in stages, remember? You had to get an invitation. Then they say anyone can pre-order. They are at a point now where they will have seen the slowing, not the stopping, but the slowing down of pre-orders, where they go, right, how much stock have we got? Have we got 500,000? Have we got 750,000? They will work that out and go, okay, now we need to push to the mainstream to get those remaining ones done. That alleged 2 million that they've got manufactured for launch, if they can hit that and they're like, yeah, we've got 500,000 to budge, then they do it because it's a great publicity story. Yeah. To say we've done 2 million units at launch of PSVR2, which would be absolutely phenomenal, especially when you consider it as a percentage of, the 32 million PS5s that have been sold so far as well.
Right. That's an amazing percentage. Amazing percentage. When there was a poll that went out, and it was kind of funny, right? So it was like you were dealing with a limited audience, right? But their poll went out, and it was something like 10% or 11.5% or something of the people who took the poll said that they were definitely buying a PSVR 2, and another like 10% who are like, still thinking about it. And so that's 20% of the people who took the poll who were like, I might buy this thing, and that's a lot of gamers when you consider, I mean, again, these are some pretty hardcore gamers. So it might be a little skewed, and I definitely retweeted that poll, so it might be really skewed. But the point is things are looking good. A lot of people out there looked at that poll and said, this is fucking terrible news. There's 10% of people are going to buy, but you don't understand VR numbers. If you think 10% of everybody who owns a PlayStation 5 is going to buy a PSVR2, those are great numbers. That's about the best case scenario right there. So fingers crossed, man. This could be really good. Robert's Gamecast says, yeah, but who takes polls? That's a good question. Let's knock out a few more tips. You ready?
I was about to do a segue then.
Well, pretend I didn't say
polls.
That.
He said, no one does polls.
Yeah.
Or surveys.
No, tips. See, I'm completely ruining your segue, Myles. I'm not allowing you to move on to the next news story. Nope, not going to do it.
Well, we've created some heightened anticipation now because what was that segue for? They're going to find out momentarily after we've done some tips. Let's do the tips, Brian.
You're going to be real disappointed. That segue is better than the news story. All right, man. Man Bear Pig Game Cat with the $2 tip says, can we screen share PSVR2 games like flat games? Okay, I got to be honest. I've never screen shared anything in my life, I don't think. This is not a feature of PlayStation that I ever use. So hopefully somebody else can deduce whether this is something that PSVR2 will be capable of. I personally have no idea because I've just never used it. You know anything about it?
Like sharing with your friend what you can see in VR, yeah?
Yeah.
I've done that. I've done that with PSVR. So I've had friends playing their flat screen games, and then they have a little screen in the corner that they've pinned, and they can see my VR headset and where I'm looking. So it was the fisheye view. So it's going to be nice with the higher quality games.
Okay, you know what? Then I did do that. I think I did when PlayStation 5 first launched and we hooked up our PSVR headsets. I think I did try that. JDB in the chat says yes, confirmed. You know what? Man, Barry Pig Game Cat has his answer. JPR20 with the $10 tip says, keep up the great work. Very hyped for PSVR 2 and Gran Turismo 7. Can't get it, though, until Amazon sells it. PS Direct doesn't ship to Puerto Rico. Unhappy face. We'll be watching this channel on D-Day to get more hyped. LOL. Thank you, JPR. I'm assuming PR stands for Puerto Rico 20. Thank you very much. I'm so excited. Yeah, it is crazy that there's places where like Sony's just not shipping to, and it's like not on Amazon in those places. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, you just aren't allowing part of the world to get the thing that you're about to. Okay.
No, you're right though, man. It makes me like there's a lot we take for granted, and like especially in an internet age now where you see what everyone in the world is like. We're talking as one community. You know, you can be anywhere in the world with the internet, and you can enjoy the love and passion for PSVR, but then when it comes to distribution of physical items, oh sorry, we're not, selling it to you. Like, that's really tough, and I feel for them.
Yeah,
hope they get it.
Got it. Just trying to make sure we don't miss any tips here. Also, the chat's disappearing, so I'm going to read this one out, and you can answer it. Snacks, please. The future arrives. Game Cat with the $5 tip says, if you can find a sec, and Dirt Rally with the wheel is a different game. Get a bit more out of that investment or not. Whatevs. So excited for this 22nd. Are you planning on, prior to launch, Myles, checking out like Drive Club VR or Dirt Rally VR with your current rig?
I'm really tempted. I wasn't going to, but Drive Club I don't have because that got taken down right off the store.
I know multiplayer got shut down, but yeah, I think when they did that, they might have removed it from the store.
Yeah,
but you can get a used copy, like a physical copy on disc.
Oh, that's true.
For like
I might
$5
do, but yeah. But a part of me is like, I just want to go from the flat screen to that. I want my first experience of VR with the driving wheel to have the biggest jump. Yeah, I totally get why you might do that, but.
Unfortunately, I think with the time that I have, Any time that I spend using the racing rig between now and PlayStation VR2 launch is going to be spent playing Gran Turismo 7 because I want as many hours in that as possible, so that I'm like intimately familiar with that game before launch, so that when I jump in and play in VR, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know I've got the cars that I want to race. I want the tracks unlocked that I want to race on, and just kind of know what I'm doing like nonstop the entire time, because I want to be able to show that off for you guys and not be like, oh, I don't know. I've done that for No Man's Sky. I've done that for Minecraft.
Right.
And it's been like 12-hour live streams where I'm like, I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Right. And it's really hard to learn in front of people. I've learned that about myself, is that I suck learning shit during live streams. I need to know what I'm doing to be able to enjoy it and to be able to do it properly. So yeah, that's sort of the plan for me leading up to launch. So sorry, but hopefully we'll get a version of Dirt Rally. There we go. I fixed the chat while we were talking. Hopefully we'll get a version of Dirt Rally on PSVR2, because that would be amazing. While it is now Gamecast, specifically White Tiger with a Canadian $2 tip, says Sony utilizing YouTubers with controlled embargoes, with a thumbs up. Indeed, they're controlling the message. I think they're doing a damn good job of it. Philip Harris with a $20 tip says, any word on Red Matter 2 for PSVR 2? I haven't heard a peep about it. Also, hilarious to hear the IGN Beyond podcast debunk the Bloomberg article and then immediately start talking about what a great article it was. As far as the Bloomberg stuff, that shit came and went within the course of 12 hours for us. I haven't watched Podcast Beyond, so I don't know what they said about it. My apologies.
And just to be fair of the situation, I definitely don't buy the Bloomberg article. But as we have it, what we have is the Bloomberg article, and Sony have denied it. Sony denying it doesn't necessarily mean it's true, what they're saying either. That's just... And I think they've been very careful with their words, but I'm not entirely sure. I have no reason to suspect that they've cut demand. And even if they had, so what? They're not going to produce stuff if they think it's not going to sell as well. But if that was the case, would they have really ramped up the way they did? You might argue, well, maybe that's why they are doing it now. But nah, I have no reason to suspect that.
Yeah, and as far as Red Matter goes, don't worry, Hakuna Matata. I believe Vertical Robot is one of those companies that just really likes to take their time and make sure they get everything right. If you've ever played their games, you know that they release generally bug-free. They're very, very solid, very polished, and they don't like to make announcements before it's time to make announcements. So I have complete faith that Red Matter 2 will be coming to PSVR 2, and if they're smart, which I do believe that they are, they're extremely smart. If you've, again, ever played their games and seen what they can do on minimal powered hardware, fucking actual real ray tracing on the Quest 2. It's craziness. Yeah, so they are amazing, and really hoping to see a collection of Red Matter 1 and 2 on PSVR 2 when they're ready to make that announcement. Very, very excited for. Myles, you never got around to Red Matter, did you? This is the one game I kind of harp on you about, being like, well, why haven't you played it? And so now I'm kind of glad you haven't. Maybe you'll get a better experience.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly right. There's a lot of games I've got on my PlayStation 5 that I haven't touched yet in VR, and some of them haven't been confirmed for PSVR 2, but a part of me is hoping. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Robert the Gamecast says Podcast Beyond wasn't nearly as good as Podcast Begins. Robert, I'm really disappointed in you. I was really hoping you would say Podcast Beyond wasn't nearly as good as Podcast Bed Bath. No one? All right, it's just you. Do you have Bed Bath & Beyond over there in the UK?
I don't know what that is.
Well, at least I know why my joke didn't land.
Why are we telling jokes anyway? This isn't a joke show.
And I'm not funny. We've.
Oh no! Regardless,
well
this is we're a serious PSVR show. We don't do jokes here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Also, am I hallucinating, or did the color just change in your room?
Oh, I don't know actually.
Nope. Officially hallucinating. That's good.
This changes. This does change.
All right.
I'll just keep it. I'll keep it on one color, and that should fix it. Sorry about that.
No, just distracting. Okay. Thank you, Philip Harris. Keen Bean with the 2 quid says UK email in promotions again. Fortune cookies on me. Keen Bean got the email from Sony, so good to know. And he's from the UK. So guys, if you're not from the UK and you haven't got your email, don't stress out like I am. Maybe we'll get it next week. Egot, it's me with the $100 tip. It says, you not having a review headset is the most absurd thing I've ever seen from Sony. Beer, wine, pizza, and catnip on me. Thank you for your dedicated and excellent coverage. Egot, it's me. I am humbled by the outpouring of support we've gotten since finding out that other YouTubers and influencers and journalists or whatever have all gotten their review units, and I was never contacted by Sony. Very, very humbled, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who were hoping to get one or expected to get one, didn't, and then no one said, oh man, you should have gotten one. The fact that you guys came out in droves and were like, this is insane, how is it crazy? Well, I mean, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages. Thank you. It reminds me that we're doing something good over here, and we will continue to do something good until the assassin finally finds me and takes me down. And also, thank you. You got it to me that you're definitely paying for Chinese food tonight and possibly tomorrow night. I love you. I love you. I really do, with all my heart. Super cool video, bro. With the $2 says he's second EGOTs. You're literally the only PSVR community. Don't forget to join Discord. If you if you love hanging out here and having this chat, like in the live chat with everybody and hanging out with me and Myles and everybody else, dude, that's what Discord is for. It's like, it's this 24/7. So come join us over there. John Vehikite with the $5 tip says, I'm a fairly new viewer, but have become a huge fan. PSVR2 is my first VR headset. Can't wait. Your enthusiasm brings my hype level to 100. I love you all. John Vehikite. We love you so much. Thank you very much for joining the community. Don't forget to join Discord and hang out to keep that hype level. Dude, can you imagine PSVR2 being your first headset, Myles? That's like going from like 0 to light speed.
I think it would actually ruin it, because you're like, oh, I'm in reality. Oh, I'm still in reality. It's that good. The only reason we're liking it is because we were going from like the screen door effect to having it gone, whereas now it's just gonna be like, oh, it's just like being in my car.
It's just like being in my car. Right?
Honestly,
why is everyone so excited about this? It looks just like real life.
Yeah.
Although it does bring simulation theory to a whole another level in terms of believability. Like, oh, we're already there. Sweet. We got a bunch more tips, but let's get on with the news, Myles.
All right.
Let's
do it.
Let's talk about polls. No, not polls. Is there
surveys?
Any way to make the segue work?
Surveys. Yep. Just say surveys.
Surveys.
Or we could say, no.
All right. Well, then the next news story comes to us from over at the Warthunder website. If you guys are not familiar with Warthunder, well, then let me bring up this fine trailer that I'm sure is wicked old, and people are being like, Brian, why are you playing this trailer from fucking forever ago? This is one of those games like Warframe or whatever. It's free to play, and people have been playing it forever. Right. And so like if I jumped into it today, I guarantee you I'd be playing a much, much different game than people who have been playing it for, the last decade. I think this came out like forever ago. So please forgive my ignorance on this topic and this possibly really outdated trailer. But for anybody who doesn't know, I'm going to read the Steam description here. War Thunder is the most comprehensive, free-to-play, cross-platform MMO military game dedicated to aviation, armored vehicles from the early 20th century to the most advanced modern combat units. Join now and take part in the major battles on land, in the sea, in the air. I screwed that up somehow. Fighting with millions of players from all over the world in an ever-evolving environment. Now, Myles, why do we care at all about War Thunder, which has never said a word about VR, despite the fact that many, many people have been asking about it? Why do we care?
I don't.
Well,
sorry. I mean, no. No. Well, no. With that popularity, I mean, they have just put out a survey. They've asked for people's feedback because it's a flat screen game. They've got this web page on the developer's website. I assume you're bringing it up on screen now.
Doing my best. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I don't have a monitor and I'm watching obviously the video on a delay anyway.
Like 45-second delay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, do you want to read it, or I can bring it up?
Sure. So let's see here. Here we're gonna. This is the Warthunder page. I'm gonna go over to the game and then the news column here, and then you go down just a little bit to yesterday where it says VR. Is this actually still? Yes, it is. Okay, I didn't know if it was still showing up.
Yeah,
here.
VR flights.
VR flights in the PlayStation VR2. Now that sounds a little concerning right off the bat, Miles. VR flights does not sound like a full game. It sounds like, hey, look, here's an experience we made for you in War Thunder for PlayStation VR2. And we're like, guys, we're over this nonsense. Let's move it along. However, let's read this. It says Sony Interactive Entertainment announced PlayStation VR2, the new generation of the VR gaming set for PlayStation 5 to be released at the end of February. Share your opinion. Would you like to have the War Thunder spin-off compatible with this platform? We're inviting you to take our survey. It's important to note that due to the technical reasons, full compatibility with PSVR2 is hardly possible in the nearest future, since War Thunder naval and ground vehicle battles are more GPU demanding. It is unlikely for these modes to have decent performance in VR without significant trade-offs in graphics. Furthermore, the PSVR2 support might also require a redesign of the game interface in accordance to its standards and requirements. Miles, let's stop there. That kind of reeks of the Epic Games Tim Sweeney Fortnite tweet, right? The whole thing about like, oh, this just isn't going to work in VR, except they're going from a different standpoint. They're saying, because, I mean, you can play fucking Fortnite on the Switch. I've seen it. It looks awful. You can play... The question is, this game has been around forever, and they're saying it's too GPU intensive to run in VR, which makes me wonder if they've actually talked to Sony and been like, hey, is this thing possible on your platform? I feel like they're making a major assumption saying that it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm confused by is they want a survey to get people's interest. It's an interesting way of doing it, as opposed to just a poll or something like that. I feel like the determining factor... I don't know. I on the one hand, I really, at first glance, respected the honesty and upfrontness of like, this is what they're thinking. Like, we're not going to be able to do it straight away. There are some, difficulties that we're going to have to overcome. But I'm also like, surely the survey, if enough people said, yeah, we want the full game, they'd make it work. Do you know what I mean?
I do know.
I feel like all those concerns would become a moot point. Like, yeah, it's a challenge. It's something you have to overcome. But
hey, Miles, here's an idea. I'm going to put the link to the survey in the chat. Now, we're going to take the survey live because I haven't done it yet. We're going to see what this survey is all about, see if they're spewing any nonsense. But we should all submit a survey together tonight. And hopefully there's a way to say, no, we don't want this. Bring the whole game to PSVR 2. Let's see. Here's the link. All right. It's in the chat. Click the link. And I'm going to hit the survey button here. Okay, hold on a second.
I'm going to do it as well.
Let's see. Did this bring it up? It brought it up. Okay, now it's a little small on the screen because the font is a little tiny, but I will read as we go. You're gonna take it too right now?
It's telling me I'm having to sign up, so I'm going to try and sign up.
Hopefully, did it get bigger? Oh, good, it got bigger. That's so good. All right. Yeah, you sign up. You can get caught up to us, okay? Because I think I'll probably take it slow. VR flights in the PlayStation VR2. So this entire survey is about PlayStation VR2. What do you think about the idea of a spin-off project being developed exclusively for the PSVR2? Now, this is a loaded question because we want something on PSVR2, but we don't want it to be the spin-off project. We want it to be War Thunder. So I'm going to say no, not interested. But I wish there was a place to type my comment.
Yeah, well, but you are interested in the sense of.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
So it's probably better to say yes, right? So they know that we're interested in PSVR2. Let's say yes, just to make sure that they know we're interested in PSVR2, and then maybe if there's a comment section where we can like clarify everything, right?
Well, actually, I think you could put no because they'd be even more curious of like so you've signed up to this survey just to tell us you're not interested. It's like
I'm sure, dude, come on, you've seen the internet. There are people who will
true.
do this just to be like, fuck that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
When they go,
Listen,
I don't care.
Okay,
I don't care.
Listen, let's all get on the same page. Because Let's Rock 82 says, Brian, click yes. I'm gonna listen to Let's Rock 82 because he's never steered me wrong. This is the first time I've listened to his advice, but so far so good.
I've clicked yes as well.
Good.
All right.
Let's all click yes. Your experience with consoles: played on a PSVR, first version of Sony's VR headset, playing games on consoles frequently, or not playing or playing little on consoles. Now, I'm going to click play on PSVR. Can I also click no?
Dude,
we have to pick the first one. Yeah.
I'd love to put no, not interested, and not playing or playing little on consoles. Like, I don't even know what this website is. I thought it was like for a raffle.
Oh my god. Okay. Do you have any?
Put it there.
Do you have any experience with VR games? Lots of experience in lots of projects. Only in War Thunder. I mean, maybe there's a VR version on PC, or haven't played or played a little in VR. Okay, so definitely lots of experience in lots of projects. This is the shortest survey, man. I thought we were going to be here for 20 minutes, but this is the end. And so it says, leave your wishes and ideas. Imagine you are the creator of this spinoff. Tell us how you see it and what you think is particularly important to consider in the development of such a project.
Oh, sorry. Is the rest of the show watching you type?
Dear War Thunder developers,
I'm going to get ChatbotGPT to write an entry while you do that. Let's
we
see what it comes up with.
Would love for you to create a PlayStation VR2 game. However, we'd prefer if you, capital letters, brought over the full capital letters game of War Thunder, and please don't assume that it couldn't run on PS5 or PSVR2. I was gonna write like a fucking letter. That's it, man. I mean, it's actually limiting how many spaces I can put after a period. Boy, they're very specific about grammar in this comment box. I can keep typing.
I've just got ChatbotGPT to write one.
People have been asking for War Thunder on PSVR1 for 6 years now, and it would be great if you could finally deliver on those desires, wishes, dreams. That's good. Dreams. Sincerely, the guy on the couch. No, Brian Paul, comma, PSVR2 without parole. Without parole at gmail.com. Submit. Nice.
Do you want to hear my one?
Yes.
Do you want to hear my one?
So you got, while I was doing something serious, you were busy. Getting an AI to write your homework for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
So I just said, I told ChatbotGPT, write an enthusiastic pitch for a PlayStation VR2 version of the game War Thunder. And then I put their caption, imagine you're the creator of this spin-off. And it's put, I love the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the next level of gaming experience, War Thunder VR2. As the creator of this spin-off, I'm thrilled to announce that Warthunder is getting a major upgrade in the world of virtual reality. Imagine immersing yourself in the midst of the most intense air and ground battles, flying a fighter plane or piloting a tank in the heat of the action. You will be able to feel the rush of adrenaline as you engage in battles with other players from around the world. The Warthunder VR2 experience promises to be a true masterpiece of virtual reality gaming. Our team has been working tirelessly to bring the iconic gameplay of Warthunder to the next level with stunning graphics and even more realistic controls that will put you right in the middle of the action. One of the key things that we're focusing on in the development of Warthunder VR2 is player interaction and teamwork. We want to make sure that players can easily communicate and coordinate with each other in the game, no matter where they're located. Whether you're in the same room with friends or playing with other players from around the world, you'll be able to experience the thrill of battling together. Oh, like the internet. I like that. We're also dedicated to ensure that Warthunder VR2 is accessible to as many players as possible. This means that we're working hard to make sure this game is compatible with a wide range of VR systems and devices so that everyone can experience the thrill of virtual reality gaming. Finally, so get ready to strap on your VR headset and join us in the skies and on the battlefields of Warthunder VR2. With breathtaking graphics, realistic controls, and intense multiplayer battles, this is the ultimate virtual reality gaming experience. I can't wait for you to experience it for yourself. It's a lot of nothing.
Yeah,
it's a whole lot of nothing.
It's actually kind of bad. Like it's a lot of fluff.
It is.
Yep.
It's good. But there we go. It was quite funny. I prefer yours.
Send. Yeah. That would be hilarious. It'd be like, what? Because it's clear that the development team, like whoever's like typing up this webpage, for English is not their first language. There's like thes where there shouldn't be. It's like little, grammatical things that you just wouldn't expect unless, there's some tiny little English barrier. Getting that, getting that for somebody who's like isn't totally fluent in English, they would just be like, what?
Yeah,
because that was my reaction, and I do speak English, so yeah.
It's that whole thing of like, I've just heard a load of words, I understood the words, but I actually don't remember anything. Like, I didn't actually. I think I actually know less than I did. I think I have less knowledge than I did before I read that. Yeah,
I think that's true. Miles. All right, man. You know what? Let's tackle a few more tips, and then we'll get on to some 20 questions. How do you feel about that?
Awesome.
All right. Let's go back to the top of the list. We got Wogriever with the 2 quid says Pacific Drive needs to be in VR. Miles, did you see? Shuhei tweeted this out, and then it showed up on the PlayStation blog. Some new indie games got revealed for PS5, and Pacific Drive, I believe this is the game he's talking about, was one of them. Dude, it looks so good, and it definitely looks like it should be a VR game. Did you check this out?
Sorry, dude, it actually cut out as you were saying that last bit.
Did you check out Pacific Drive? Did you see the news announcement that's coming to PlayStation 5?
Yeah, I saw the announcement, but I haven't checked it out fully in that. So yeah, are you excited for it?
I mean, I am, but obviously I'm not going to have time for any flat screen stuff that's not coming to PSVR2. So I'm very much hoping this game looks like perfect for VR. But again, it's a small team, and who knows if they're going to have the ability to bring it over or not. The hope, of course, is that PlayStation VR2 support for some of these games exposes it to a much bigger audience than they would have had before. But yeah, we got Gorenga with the 2.5 quid says selling my old Dreamcast in PS2 games to get a PSVR2. Love you guys, dude. Start a GoFundMe or something. Don't sell your Dreamcast in PS2 games. I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I would. Depends which games too. Are you selling your Need for Speed games and your Madden games, or are you selling Mark of the Cree and Eco and Shadow of the Colossus and Dark Cloud 1 and 2? I don't know, man. That pains me. Some classics, I remember when some of my friends, and you hear about this all the time, who sold their Super Nintendo games. Super Nintendo, Earthbound and Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 3. I mean, just the big titles, in their console, They sold it all to GameStop. Yeah. For a PlayStation 1. And it's like, dude, PlayStation 1 kicked ass. But I'm sure 10 years down the line, you're like, God damn, I wish I kept that Super Nintendo. Like Earthbound? Come on. Just be real careful.
My mum gave away all my Pokemon cards when I was younger. And I think gave it to like my cousin who then didn't use them and then got rid of them. And they would have been worth a fortune. I don't even want to think about it.
It's good to see you're not harboring any resentment still.
No.
I would get ChatGPT to write an angry letter to your mom about the Pokemon cards that she threw away, and then submit it anonymously. Dear Mom.
Oh man.
Like she'd have no idea who it came from. Whose other Pokemon cards did your mom throw away? If she's confused by who it came from, we've got an issue.
No, she'd read the GPT text and go, "I have no idea what I've just read." It's a whole lot of words, and it makes no sense.
But you know what? I will say, Goranga says, I don't play them anymore. That's fine. If you're not a collector, do it up, man. It's never been a better time to sell your old games. And honestly, I've considered it many times. I've definitely considered paring down the collection to something a little bit more manageable, and just keeping, my real favorites, not the expensive stuff. Sell that shit. Sell that shit while it's worth something. So I feel you, man. I get it. Like, even though I'm a crazy collector, I totally understand, and hoping to not be so crazy one day. GB, aka Genetic Blasphemy, with the $5 tip says, that damn exterior box is yet another barrier to entry, Brian. Tear it off. Tear it off. Yeah. Thank you very much, GB. And I will consider tearing that thing apart, man, just for funsies. I saw cardboard flying everywhere. Alejandro D, cat allergic. Game cat. Cat allergic. All right. There's pills for that, $2 tip says, did you see Digital Foundry's video with the Song in the Smoke developers?
I really want to. From the thumbnail, it's like you've got the Digital Foundry dude, I can't remember, it's Lindman doing it, and he's like on camera, as you normally would, and then you've got them, and they're all like stood around the webcam. Just the devs are just sort of hanging out in this room. I love it, but I've heard good things about it, and it's actually on my saved watch list on YouTube that I'll probably listen to tomorrow. Can't wait.
So I got to admit, as much as I love Digital Foundry, I don't think I haven't watched them in so long. So I'll definitely be checking out that video because of obviously the content, because Song and Smoke is great. But full confession, AJ and I did the exact same thing as you just described the Digital Foundry video. Myles, AJ and I did the exact same thing with the devs. I want to say a week ago Wednesday, and we were on a Zoom call with them, and they were hanging out in a room. That's what we saw, hanging out in a room, playing PSVR2, playing Song in the Smoke Rekindled, and sending us a 4K video feed of their footage, and explaining stuff. Jake Havsdahl was there explaining stuff as he went. I'm sure most of these outlets got a very similar interview and a very similar experience with these guys. And I'm just really, really bummed because we lost the footage after it was over. I have the 4K video, but I need to do something with it. So I might sit down with Jake Havsdahl one-on-one if we can find the time, and use that footage for something good. Old Darth says they were blown away by the power of PS5 and PSVR2. The devs were blown away. Yeah, they are an excited group of individuals, and they love their game, and they love the updates that they brought to it. So very exciting, very exciting.
It should be said, it's an obvious point, but I think something worth reflecting on. The success of this launch of PSVR2 is going to change the trajectory on how much devs invest their time and resources into making games for this generation.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. PlayStation 5, it's like, this is the next generation, and PlayStation 5, it's going to sell well. There's a lot of devs who have probably got ideas, but they're, some of the bigger devs I'm talking about are waiting, and actually some smaller devs as well. They will literally look and wait and see how this sells. And if it's like, okay, this is blown up, let's do it,
Yeah. Looper the Underground Gamecast has a question for you, Myles, with the 5 quid. It says, Myles, what are you streaming tomorrow, and why is it Dead Space?
I don't have Dead Space on me at the moment. I'd love for that to be it. Tomorrow, it's likely to be Fortnite, actually. I haven't played Fortnite all week. But yeah, it's going to be a nice, easy one just because I'm pretty exhausted after a long week. And I did have fun last week with, I did play Stray. Played Stray for a couple of hours, had a really good time with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be Fortnite tomorrow. I haven't decided yet, but subscribe to my channel. I'll have something registered around, well, about 12 hours from now in terms of scheduled up.
So you're going to play Fortnite, you say?
You want to join?
No. I hate playing Fortnite with you.
I know. He never invites me.
Yeah. I play Fortnite with literally everybody but you. Because we played together, and you are
because I'm in the Discord chat when it's like, hey, are you playing? Are you playing? Are you playing? And I'm just like, he's not going to say my name.
Nope.
Oh, Brian's gone.
Myles, I love you to death, but I hate how you play Fortnite. I do.
It's all right.
I do. It's not fun to play with you. I'm glad you have.
Yeah,
I'm glad you have other friends to play Fortnite with. And I want to invite them on the show because I need to hear their opinions on the way you play Fortnite. Like I'm so laid back when I'm playing. Like sometimes I just like space out and do my own thing. And you're like militant is the right word, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I am. I'm like with actually my friend Johnny. He actually took that over, and he then went on to get this season. He's just hit over 100 Crown Royales.
Holy shit.
And he was getting so angry with stuff because he was so close to it. Like every time he lost, oh, damn it. But now he says, as soon as I hit 100, I'm so chilled with the game now because I'm like, yeah, I've done it.
Yeah. Yeah. And no offense, I will say.
No, dude, it's so true though. There are different ways of playing Fortnite, and I'm one of those people that's like, let's go there next. It's all about constant strategy and rotation and stuff like that. Yeah. And some people don't play like that, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah. You're really good. I mean, no, you are, and I think it's because you actually take it seriously and you have good strategy. I've had a shitty week with Fortnite, but that means I need to get back in there and play more because I can never give up. It's actually worse stopping after you've had a shitty round because then you're leaving Fortnite with a bad taste in your mouth, right?
Well, it's both ways, isn't it? It's like when you're playing late and it's like you just lost a match. You're like, oh, can't end on this.
Right.
Better play another. And then when you win, you're like, oh, we're on the roll now. Got to play one more.
Right. It's not going to walk away until you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throw the controller. Time to go to bed. Ryan Barron with the $5 tip says Digital Foundry interview with Song and Smoke devs was really uplifting to hear how devs are excited about PSVR2 hardware and potential. Ryan, thank you so much for the tip because we talked about it and we can move on, but we love you. And luckily, you brought up something else. With the $5 tip, Ryan Barron says the Light Brigade gameplay videos have been looking really good, and I pre-ordered it right away. What are your thoughts on the game? Myles, have you been paying attention to the Light Brigade? I feel like this is one of those that's sort of, it's going to be easy for it to slip under the radar.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Just because it's a roguelite, I'm really interested in it. I'm going to give it a go. But it's not going to be one that I jump to straight away. Mm-hmm. The thing also is with the trailer, it's an interesting art style. And I know that when you're in that world, it's going to feel even better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times you see the trailers and you just know, you sort of learn the expectation, like the leap of immersion. If you show people Super Hot, they go, oh, that doesn't look like a lot of thought's gone into the aesthetics. Okay. But when you're in it, it's amazing. And it's like, okay, I see how this is. Yeah, so I'm definitely interested in playing it. It's just not in my, probably, it's not one that I'm screaming, that's screaming out to me. Yeah.
Virtual Strangers in the chat, Wes, our good friend from West Day, says it's really good. I believe he's playing it on Steam. And so,
awesome.
Yeah. The more I read about this game, the more I see about this game, the more I'm interested. It was easy sort of to dismiss it first because the art style is sort of minimalistic and you're just like, it's not a lot really going on here. But it does sound like the gameplay mechanics are right on par with this kind of stuff that I like. It's like Until You Fall with guns.
Yeah, Until You Fall, when I was playing it at first, I was like, this is kind of cool. And then always with these roguelike games, once the grind kicks in and you get into that loop, it gets really good because you get better, you get rewarded, and you get further each time. yeah, it's definitely going to be one of them.
Matt with the Canadian $7 tip says Sony still hasn't added 3D Blu-ray support to PlayStation 5. Do you think PSVR2 will push Sony to add 3D Blu-ray support, maybe with a small purchase? I don't know about the maybe with a small purchase. I don't know how that would work. But if there's ever a time to add 3D Blu-ray support, it's when they're putting out a device that supports 3D. I actually really enjoyed PSVR1. I didn't watch a lot of movies in my headset. But the few 3D movies I checked out in my PSVR1, I really liked the way that it looked. It was way more subtle and less jarring than when you go to the 3D movies at the theater. It felt natural somehow. And so it's something that I would definitely check out on PSVR2. And that would be a great thing for them to mention during their state of play, by the way. Stevie Dan, 1969. Woohoo! With the 222 quid says, happy birthday when it comes, chaps. A week in advance. Is that the first time you've gotten a happy birthday wish a week in advance?
Gran Turismo gave me a happy birthday today. It must be to do with the birthday window. Must be like we do it within a week. Oh. And what did I get? I got a car. I got a really nice car. Don't ask me what car it was. Yeah, got a car for my birthday.
Good. Yeah, it's probably shit, right?
It looks really good. It looks like the most expensive car I've owned so far. But actually, I was worried I was going to get a raffle ticket. Dude, the raffle tickets in GT7 drive me insane. I always get the shittest money. Like there's all the cars and all the stuff that you can win. And I'm like, it's slowing down the opposite side to the shittest one. And then it jumps around and I always get the lowest value. And I don't know what it is. Whereas when you get to choose the 3 cars, when you've won a tournament, and then you have the 3 cars to choose from, and you got to pick the card. I always seem to get the one with the highest PP.
It's terrible. Sirens on my end. It's a terrible name. I can't believe that they actually went through and called that thing called the power of each car PP points. PP. I mean, it's the second P stands for points, right? The first one is power points.
Yeah.
Come on.
PP.
Come on. They knew what they were doing.
How much PP has your car got?
Yeah.
My PP's got more. Yeah, it's got more PP than your PP.
You know what they say, Miles? The bigger the car, the smaller the PP.
Yeah, actually, it's true. Yeah, because it's heavier. Slows it down.
Yeah. Yes. And Miles, I know you've been trying to keep up with tips over on here in Discord. I've got one more. And I don't know if you mind scrolling through and just seeing if there's any you think that we might have missed. But while we're reading this last one, Stephen Blaylock, the $2 tip, says, could Ubisoft sell the rights to Bridge Crew? I don't think that's how rights work. I think they were probably licensed the rights. They were allowed to make a Star Trek game. And then after a certain number of years or a certain amount of time, or maybe after a certain number of titles, the license reverts back to the IP owner, and then they license it back out. So it's not that Ubisoft would sell the rights to Star Trek Bridge Crew. It would be that somebody else makes a Star Trek game. I hope I answered that question the way that you were looking, Stephen. Miles, do you think we missed any tips? And if anybody's in the chat and didn't hear,
I can't see anyone on mine. Yeah, I can't see any here.
I'm going to check my phone, make sure that, because people, I mean,
I was going to say, on your studio, the YouTube Studio app, you get all the tips that have been given.
Oh yeah, but it disappears so fast.
Oh no, but actually on the studio, where you look at your content and stuff, I'll have to show you it sometime. It's in the monetization category. It keeps a history of all your super chats.
All right, I'm gonna have that up in a separate window from now on, then, because copying and pasting and screen grabbing is craziness. All right, I think we're doing okay.
A lot of solidarity in the chat regarding the roulette and the prizes. A lot of people, and then someone said they won $1 million on it.
Nice,
which is wow,
dude.
That's good.
Yeah, whenever you do the roulette, it's there's 5 different things that you can win, or 7 different things. I forget what it is.
Like car parts, cars, or pots of money, or piles of money.
Yeah. And it always seems to land on the smallest pile of money, or a car part that it's well, I don't fucking want this. So, but you are, contrary to the I don't know if it was rumors or just misinformation at the launch of Gran Turismo 7 that was like, it's all about microtransactions now. Dude, I haven't spent a fucking penny in that game. I have not spent a real life penny. I'm so many hours into it, and I'm unlocking cars constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. I haven't even used in-game currency to buy cars yet. I've just got like hundreds of thousands of gold, dollars, euros, quid. I don't know I forget what the Gran Turismo currency is.
Dude, I wasted so much cash on one of the menu missions where you had to. I'm going to say it was one of the races where you had to get a car with the engine on the front. Was it like FR or something? It's called. But then you needed it to be within a certain PP. So I took it to the store to upgrade it, and I went through the first 3 pages of everything, and it wasn't just enough PP. So I, it's so weird saying this. And then I went to the first page and changed the tires, and the PP went really high. Sorry, man. But
I hope
true.
I hope you've
realized...
been drinking this whole time, because that would make me feel better about this entire conversation.
I just feel so ridiculous saying this. I'm also very tired, so I feel a bit weird. But and also we're talking about PP.
He's giddy.
But
he's giddy.
It turned out that I didn't need to do 3 pages of upgrades. If I just so I wasted all my cash. If I just changed the tires, that would have been enough to get my PP where it needed to be.
There's a learning curve. And if anybody out there could get Myles' PP where it needs to be, please send him a DM after the show. There's a learning curve. And like, I'm still learning. There's so much to learn about what you need to adjust in cars when you discover you're having a problem and where to go with that. There's an infinite number of resources online, though. There's tons of people out there to help you. Don't let yourself get in trouble.
I'm sorry, I'm crying.
PP.
I've been crying.
My God.
Sorry. PP's not funny.
I was just waiting for you to start laughing again.
No,
PP's not funny.
No, it's not. It's broken me. It's It's because I genuinely was trying to like explain what happened without being like, thinking about the words. I thought just say it like a normal sentence, and it makes it worse because you end up saying things. Yeah. Anyway,
Myles, do you know what time it is?
PP time. 20 PP.
It is. It is totally 20 PP time. It is time for 20 questions. If you guys don't know anything about 20 questions, this week, Friday, 2 Ys, I've got a PSVR game in my head. PlayStation VR1, because PSVR2 is not out yet. And Myles has 20 yes or no questions. And you guys out there, of course, you got to help him out in the chat. 20 yes or no questions to figure out.
I need a lot of help.
A lot of help. Right. Myles, I have changed the game 3 times now.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the course of the show. Because I just can't figure out what the best choice is. And I also can't remember the ones we've used recently because I do this all very last minute. So I'm going to pick this one.
Anyone type in PP in the chat, it's being held for review. I love it.
I'm just going to go with this one because I have no idea. I'm so lost. I have no idea when this thing came out. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say no idea the last time we used this game or if we've ever used this game. So let's just go full force ahead with it. Myles, are you ready?
Yeah, I need to get my mind off this comment. The chat is cracking me up loads.
Yeah, always. Great tension. Yeah. Great tension says Myles is broken.
Yeah, I am broken.
It's awesome. All right, man. On your mark. Get Des. Go.
Does it have a multiplayer?
No. It took me a second. No.
Oh, it's because I said multiplayer, as in
Markiplier?
Like you can get a racked up score.
No, Markiplier's not in the game. That's 2.
No. Yeah, no multiplayer. Has it got a realistic aesthetic? Has it gone for realism?
I mean, yeah, I would say so, right? Maybe stylized, but definitely feels realistic.
Is it a seamless gaming experience, as in it's not segmented into levels. So I'm asking, is it a continuous game? Like,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Are you shooting guns in this game?
No, you're
As
not.
in to like do damage.
You're not shooting guns in this game, or shooting to do damage with guns in this game.
Is it a sport?
Yeah,
It's a sport.
that's 5.
I remember the highlight clip from another sport we did. Do you play on grass?
On grass? No.
No, okay, it's not that one. Because it was the one where I was like, would you use a club? Yeah. Is it for everyone? You were like, oh, I see where you're going with this.
Oh, right.
So
Okay. Yeah.
Not on grass. Okay. So Gamecast, no multiplayer. Going for a kind of realism. It's a continuous game. There's no shooting. It's a sport, and it's not on grass. Do you drive in it? Are you driving a vehicle in it?
Yes.
Are you controlling a vehicle in it?
Yes, you're controlling.
Yeah. So it could.
Yeah, loose. Let's use vehicle loosely.
Yeah. Is it based on a popular IP?
No.
Are you? Okay, this is going to be very specific. Are you fishing in this?
You are fishing in this.
You are fishing.
Luckily, there's like 17 fishing games on PSVR. So
I know,
right? You're still a ways off.
Would you say the idea of this game, in some ways, is to, maybe catch a fish, but then sometimes maybe you'd want to release it?
I mean, sure, you could do that.
You could do that.
That's 10. Yeah.
Is there a radio playing music in the boat?
Let's see, a radio. How many copyright claims did I get while playing this? I do believe there's a radio, with all sorts of copyright issues.
Did you get copyright?
Just for that one, the theme song in the
theme song. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
So in case you
catch and release, Brian?
In case you didn't know, we're talking about it as if you'd already answered. It is in fact catch and release. That was 12 guesses. Well done, sir. This is actually not the trailer. This was the update where they added like lightning and thunder and nighttime. I mean, dude, they updated this game quite a bit after launch, and I mean, it's just so nice to just go out there on that lake and sit and hang out, eat sandwiches, drink soda. When you asked if there was multiplayer, Miles, the funny thing is I've always wished that I could be on this lake with one other person or 5 other people, and it never happened. But I wanted it so badly and imagined it so frequently, and thought, "Ooh, I wish I could upgrade this boat to a motorboat, right? Like a little speedboat." That I actually in my head was like, "Oh yeah, no, they didn't add that. They added so much, but not that." So yeah.
I lost my save game data. I don't know if it was when I went to PS5, but it wasn't in the cloud. And I remember it was quite far in the game. I was stuck on a particular fish. I would like to go back to it. And it is a game that I would love to play a PSVR2 version of.
Yes.
If they did catch and release, with friends, they did a version with, multiplayer. I think it'd be great. I would actually get that.
Right, yeah. and make the lake bigger. Like, I mean, they added like a whole new area, like this cave area with like, there's like labyrinthine and like there were secrets to find, which was amazing. But like, I want a lake that's like 4 times as big, or even better, I want multiple lakes to select. Right, like you start off and you're like, where do we want to go today? And there's like, here's 5 different lakes that are all about this size. That'd be great. Lots of secrets to discover, different fish in different ponds or lakes or whatever. So I did. So here's the thing: whenever a game comes up in conversation, I end up DMing the developer or emailing the developers, right? And the last time I'd talked to, it was his name. I'm gonna screw up his name. I think it was Stephen Garber, and so I tried to get in touch with him, but man, he hasn't tweeted in like 2 years, and I hadn't talked to him in like 3 years, and so I was like, oh man, maybe he seems like the kind of guy that would like just for funsies fall off the radar, and it seems like he fell off the radar completely. So I really, really hope that he's like in some secret bunker somewhere, coding away and developing a PSVR2 game, or at least bringing catch and release to PSVR2. And if anybody knows Stephen Garber, it doesn't sound right. Stephen Garber. If anyone knows, tell him to get in touch with me, because I can't get in touch with him. Good job, Myles. Good job, Cats. Good job, everybody. It's good stuff. Myles, you ready to start your weekend? You gonna go watch the new episode of The Last of Us?
Yeah, I'll be watching that tomorrow. Although I do go around my parents on Mondays to watch it, but I don't think, especially with what I think episode 5 is going to be, because it feels like episode 4 and 5 is a two-parter. I can't. I'm going to see stuff on the internet, so I think I'm going to have to, watch it tomorrow. Tomorrow evening when it's out in the UK.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
You?
Yeah, I mean it's on in like an hour, and so.
Is it on in an hour from now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, because of the Super Bowl. They're not airing it on Sunday.
I knew it was on. I was on tonight. I just didn't know like what time it is. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I get an hour, which is why I haven't been in a hurry to finish this.
Awesome.
Just passing the time while we wait for The Last of Us to start. Maybe you guys are with us.
The amount of people I work with who aren't gamers that are they've literally created a Slack channel for The Last of Us. Everyone is loving it.
Nice.
And I keep sharing like clips from the actual game, like. Again, without spoiling it for anyone, like specifics, but there's like some scenes in the episode that we've just seen, which is directly taken from the game. And so it's just great showing them saying, yeah, this is what they've interpreted it from. And it's amazing.
Ryan Barron has one more question for us, Myles, one more tip before we call it a night. He says, where do you see the progression / evolution of Crisis VRigade, now called boringly Crisis Brigade, series going now that we're moving into PSVR 2?
Right.
You had a chance to spend much time with the Crisis Brigade series, Myles?
I didn't. I'm just looking it up now, man. Like my brain is so dead. No, I did play this. It's because it was the way he'd spelt it. I thought, is this a different one? No. Yeah. No, I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was very late to the party with this game. And it's actually a game that I would show a lot of people that hadn't experienced VR before, because especially the opening of, I can't remember which one it was in particular, but where you're outside, I think it's the first one, you're outside the bank.
Yeah, first one.
And and it's the fact that you literally have to get down on your knees behind the car and you're shooting over.
Yeah. It
was just really awesome to have that. But it's a really difficult game, but I enjoyed playing the multiplayer. It's a really tough game. It's not forgiving, but that's kind of what you want from some games. You want games that are like, no, you've got to be really disciplined to make it happen.
Yeah.
But it was just really annoying when you've got them running with the hostages are running away. That was when I found it most difficult.
Right. Don't kill the good guys.
Yeah.
This is obviously a. Like they were inspired very much by the Time Crisis series, Namco's old light gun game, which I loved. Especially on the PS2, that was like my jam. Time Crisis 2, 3. There's another one too, which name eludes me, which is right up there. So, Crisis Zone. That's what it's called, Crisis Zone. So I mean, I would love for them to maybe consider going down the light gun shooter route and actually just make it an actual rail shooter instead of fading out and going to the next scene. Make it an actual rail shooter. Let me shoot things like more like Blood and Truth style, I guess, is what I'm looking for. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Just make Blood and Truth.
I'd love a Time Crisis game, like a proper Time Crisis VR game.
Yeah.
I'd like it if they actually remade the original Time Crisis in VR. And I remember Time Crisis 2 buying the gun and playing it at home. It was just awesome, not having to put $1 in the arcade machine every time you lost a life. It's like, no, I own this now. I get as many credits as I want. But yeah,
Somebody in the chat just told me to have a good birthday. Cat's a bit fishy. Miles' birthday, and then we're still a week off, so you got plenty of time.
and yeah, and if you guys are around next Friday, like the show's on, and I plan to come on it. I have the day off, so I'm going to be chilling during the day, and then and it's actually the start of like I've taken a week off work for the following week in the for PSVR2 because I think I should probably take a week off for that, so we'll see you on next Friday's show. But if you do want to hang out in the meantime, tomorrow evening, going to be live streaming a game, just a chilled hangout. It'd be cool. But yeah, subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when I go live.
Let's do it. Also, Elvert's done moving. It's good to hear. Moving sucks, and Elvert's done. Congratulations, my friend. All right, dude, let's get out of here. Guys, if you don't already know, Miles has his own channel, youtube.com/Miles. You can click the link in the description below and go follow, /subscribe, /like all of his videos. Because, dude, between me and Wes and AJ and Miles, we are going to have you covered as far as PSVR2 coverage goes, starting at launch. That's right. Starting at launch. We might be a little late on some of our coverage, man, but we're going to fucking kill it once we get our hands on this thing. So please spread the love around. Also join our Discord. Come hang out over there. It's like this, 24/7. Already said it. Also, thanks to everybody who helps the channel run, all the moderators who I rely on far too much for emotional support. And obviously this moderation here and on Discord. Thank you to those guys. Thank you to Jay Meow, who puts this up on podcast services of your choice for your oral pleasure, and of course Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, who puts all the stamps in this show after all is said and done. We love you guys so very much. All the people who hung out in the chat today. Thank you to everybody who participated in 20 questions, changed your name to GameCat, donated during the show. Amazing. You paid for Chinese food tonight. And of course, everybody who sat back and watched the show and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Happy Friday, Miles.
Happy Friday. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bam. No surprise, Miles. No surprise. We said we're going to, let's make it a nice, quick, speedy episode. An hour sounds good. Here we are.
Over goddamn generous game cats with their stupid donations ruining it.
So good, man. So good.
It's awesome.
Really appreciate all you guys hanging out. Obviously the tips slow everything down, but we talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And so hopefully we made it worth your while. We love you so much. And just remember, guys, 11 more days, 3 hours, and 49 minutes until the day PSVR2 launches. Have a nice weekend,
We're
everybody.
almost there.
Yeah,
we are almost there.
I can feel it with my pee-pee. We love you guys. Good night.